Good morning, boys and girls. We've moved on to another week of learning from home, and it is Monday, April 13th, and we're continuing on with Unit 7. We're on Lesson 6, and we're on pages 215 and 216. So we're going to go over the material. We're not going to do any problems together today. I think you'll be able to do this on your own. If not, just let me know if you have questions, and I can always help you, or we can always Zoom together if you need help with the worksheet, okay? Okay, so today we're starting to talk about shapes, and today we're going to talk about squares and rectangles, and we're going to learn a few other words, okay? So, I'm actually going to jump over here first. So when we talk about our shapes, we learned square and rectangle in kindergarten. So to review those, I'm going to just look at the ones I already have drawn. So a square has 4 sides, and a rectangle has 4 sides. So that's one of the words we need to understand today, what a side is. So the sides are the straight lines that connect together to make a shape, okay? And then another word we need to understand is corners. So on a shape, a corner is where 2 of those sides meet, okay? So where 2 sides meet, that's the corners. Where my fingers are tapping each other, that's the corner, okay? And I've pointed that out here. Okay, so there's a special kind of corner called a square corner. So we are going to try to make a square corner, okay? So you can do it with your arms. So you're gonna put one arm straight up by your ear, and you're gonna put the other one straight out, okay? So this is a square corner, okay? So it cannot be any smaller. So move this arm up. Now it's smaller, okay? So back to square corner, and it cannot be any bigger, okay? So a square corner looks kind of like an L, okay? So when you have, so it looks like this, okay? So think of our arms, how we just did that, or think of an L, okay? Can't be like this, that'd look like a J. It's to be like this, okay? 2 straight lines making a square corner, okay? When you get older, you'll learn that that's a right corner. It's called a right corner or 90 degrees, okay? But for now, we're just calling it a square corner, okay? So, could be like an upside down L, okay? So this is where we're looking to see this square corner. Okay, some other things we're going to talk about today is whether a shape is opened or closed. So I think you guys will catch on to this pretty quickly. This shape is open. So if you can see this space right here, it's not closed. There's a gap there and it's open, okay? It's kind of like the door is open. So we wouldn't consider that a shape, a complete shape, because it's not closed. Okay, so then of course the opposite then is a closed shape where all 4 sides, or however many sides there are, meet and it's closed. You don't see any gaps or any openings. Okay, so we're going to use these words to describe rectangles and squares. So if you look at a rectangle, you can see that it has, we're going to count how many sides it has. Okay, so count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a rectangle has 4 sides. Okay, and rectangles have square corners. Okay, they have those corners that are like this. They're not any smaller. They're not any bigger. Okay, they're just like this, like an L. So you can see one here, 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 and here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 square corners for a rectangle. Okay, and you could describe their sides too. You can see that it has 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides. That's what makes a rectangle. And then we have squares. So if you look at my blue shape here, you see a square. And let's count how many sides it has. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. So a square has 4 sides. And a square also has square corners. So we'll count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's describe the sides of a square. All the sides in a square, they're all the same length. Okay, they're all the same. So I want you to notice that however many sides a rectangle has, that's how many corners it has. And the same for a square. However many sides it has, that's how many corners it has. And that's actually going to be true for all the shapes that we're learning. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk about triangles and circles, and that will be true when we count sides and corners tomorrow as well. Okay, so here's something, excuse me, that's kind of tricky, and it still tricks my mind, and your parents might even say, what is she talking about? That's not true. So just hang with me, parents, and you'll understand. So this is something tricky we've kind of got to get our minds to think about. Okay, so we have rectangles and we have squares, but now I'm going to tell you that a square is a rectangle. Okay, and here is why. Here is why a square is a rectangle. Okay, because when we described a rectangle, we said that it has to have 4 sides and 4 square corners. That makes a rectangle. Well, if you come down to square, what makes a square? 4 sides and 4 square corners. So that means that a square is a rectangle, but it is a special rectangle because all 4 sides are the same. Okay, so I wrote that here. A square has, you got it, 4 sides and 4 square corners. So therefore, a square is a rectangle, and like I said, it's a special rectangle because all 4 sides are the same. Okay, so I know we think of rectangles as rectangles and squares as squares, but now I just told you that a square is a special rectangle. So let's see if we can remember that. I do know that comes up in 2nd grade. Okay, so that's all we have for today. On your paper, you're kind of sorting some shapes. You're drawing a few squares and rectangles. You're looking to see if it's opened or closed, and I think you'll do great. I'll see you later.